there, everybody. My name's Adam, and welcome to this week's edition of Nose Rides and Nose Dives. Today, we are going to be going into details about the infamous pop-up, and we're going to be talking about why my pop-up sucks. And maybe even while we're looking into my pop-up, we might actually help expose some weaknesses in your pop-up and help you improve them. So let's get started.
Alright, so today's mission is to try and learn and improve my pop-up. One of the viewers on YouTube here in last week's edition, they made a great comment. They noticed that when I popped up, I usually tend to pop up, and my lead foot, it points forward, and then I have to correct it afterwards, which is a lot of extra work. So what they suggested was when I pop up, I try and turn my hips at the same time so that my lead foot lands a little bit more at an angle. So that's what the goal is for today, is to try and see if I can work on popping up. And there you go again. It's difficult. You gotta try and work on it, see how it goes.
So here's a classic example of the old me. Popping up, front foot facing forward, and turning as we go. Alright, bit of a slow mode here. This is a little bit better. There's a slight angle. My goal is to get up to around 45 degrees, turning that lead foot, my right foot, for a goofy surfer like myself, around 45 degrees forward, not entirely perpendicular to the board, but 45 degrees is my goal. This is really hard. I'm really struggling here, not doing what I'm used to doing. I guess it's hard to kick some old habits. But I'm not going to give up, though. There's no way. I need to practice this more. Alright, so here I am now in the backyard. Later that day, I am frustrated. I need to figure out getting it lead foot. How do I turn it? What am I doing wrong? Trying to turn my hips. Really, this is really hard. Help! I need help. Ouch! Ouch! Self-torture here. Alright, so here I am with split hands, having my lead hand forward to be able to turn my chest and my upper body perhaps a little bit easier. This seems to be working a little bit for me. There we go, a couple of clean pop-ups here. But translating it to the surfboard is not easy. It is difficult. It's gonna need a lot more practice, I think, because as you can see, when I'm actually out surfing, I'm going into my instinctual behaviors of habits and just surfing, and not really being able to translate thought into improvement. Whoa, Now, I have a theory as to why I've taught myself to pop up this way, and I believe it is to compensate for another fault that I had when I was learning how to surf a few years back. But I'll get back to that in just a minute. So here's a perfect example of one of the drawbacks to popping up with my lead foot facing forward. My body becomes so unstable that I'm not able to stabilize the board. So on a steeper wave like this on an angle, you can see I start wobbling. My weight's backwards, then it's forwards, then it's backwards, and I'm not able to really stabilize the board easily in the wave. So when I was learning how to surf, I had what we call surfer's butt, which is where your trail side is over the trail rail behind you and your head is over the front rail, which creates a really unstable position to surf from. So learning how to surf with surfer's butt, which is a typical mistake for a lot of beginners, I think I learned how to turn my body a little bit more centered on the board, which means that I never actually turned my lower body so efficiently. So as you can see here, I think the reason for me having this surfer's butt and really having a difficult time is because I actually have a limitation in my upper thoracic spine, which is T-spine extension. So when I pop up, it's difficult for me to keep my chest and my head above my hips. So my hips, they always end up, as I'm popping up, going higher up than my upper body, and that just creates a difficult position. I think a lot of great surfers, you can see when they're popping up, their chest and their head is higher than their hips as they're popping up, and throughout the whole movement, which makes it really stable. That means that their lower body's under their upper body, whereas when I pop up, my lower body is out behind my upper body, which creates a really unstable position to pop up from. So the question remains, how do I improve my pop-up, and how do I improve my T-spine extension? Well, I think improving the pop-up is just going to be about a matter of practice, a lot of practice, and trying to work on it constantly at home and the water and translating to the water. And to improve my T-spine extension, I think I need to go do some yoga. I couldn't think of a better way of doing yoga than to do goat yoga, which is combining the greatest of all times, Kelly Slater, with the flexibility of learning yoga poses. Wow. Get into that cobra position and really make my body feeling a little bit more, my joints feeling a little bit more lubricated and really kind of, flexible, and gain some flexibility in my body and my aged body. So the theory is, you can definitely teach an old dog a new trick, but that old dog needs to be motivated and inspired and willing to learn the new trick. So today I've exposed some weaknesses in my pop-up, and I've come up with some theories, some viable theories that perhaps to why I have those weaknesses and what I need to do to improve them. So let's stop beating around the bush here. What's really happened here is we've opened up a can of worms. But there's nothing to get discouraged about either, because unraveling one problem and finding other issues is a part of the process of learning, actually, and that's what makes it kind of enjoyable and fun. So if you want to learn more about the process of learning and the correct mindset, then you need to check out this video here. And and other than that, I'd like to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you're enjoying these vlogs, please be sure to subscribe, hit notifications, give us a thumbs up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week. You!